Hello, everybody. Welcome to Agita News. My name is Maria. Happy July 22nd post heat wave, I hope, for everyone. So, what's been in the news? I said I would just come and recap things when I felt like it and talk about it, just so I didn't have to have Agita. Because a lot of our news is on repeat, like heartburn, which is what is called agita in a Mediterranean term for heartburn. And so a lot of our news is constantly spinning and just reverberating, and people get stuck on it, and other news just falls off the radar a lot. So I recently saw a show. I can't think of the name of it right now. It was on CNN, but it was like something like Buried Leads. Like maybe that might have been it. I think it was Jake Tapper show, The Lead, and they had a segment called The Buried Leads, and they had the three women that accused Donald Trump of rape and molestation and rape, one assault, were in the buried lead. They called it the buried lead, and that's exactly what this channel does. Only I didn't know they had that. And really, there's so many news stories that are like in our face and turned up volume. And it seems like yesterday E. Jean Carroll was coming out with her book and did her Vanity Fair, did her Vogue interview and all of her interviews, and was sitting on CNN telling us that Donald J. Trump, now our president, the Donald when he was the Donald, raped her. And it seems like everything blew up that weekend. And that's when I felt like news really accelerated, and the president really got busy right then. There's a lot coming up. He had just pulled away from one ICE raid on June 21st, backed away from it. He had just kind of like said, okay, I'll give you 2 weeks. And I had that in the back of my mind. He said 2 weeks. Mueller was going to come and testify on the 17th, but then he didn't. Now it's the 24th. Had that in my mind. Barry was all of a sudden becoming a hurricane category, and New Orleans was sitting in a little soup bowl, just going to get flooded by everything around it and everyone else. And it was a triple threat. So there was a lot going on. And then it just disappeared. She disappeared. That disappeared. Donald Trump was walking across the curb and over a border to shake hands with Kim Jong-un. And Kim Jong-un was like, wait a minute, I didn't know you were going to come here. I didn't think you were really going to. Well, really? Oh, great. Come on over. Hi. Okay. And patting his back and everything. Everything sped up that week. That is the week that everything went. There was a lot coming out. Jeffrey Epstein was going down, and so much was coming out. The detainment centers were being exposed for what they were. And I thought, man, what happened to this? What happened to that? How did we get here? But what happened to this? What happened to Iran? What happened? So what I try to do is go back and keep some of those things in the news. So we all got caught up with Barry. Barry was going to be a horrible hurricane, right? Just horrible. Right. And I really believed it was going to sneak up on him later. Everybody was ignoring it for a long time. And I thought, not good. Then everybody was on it because it got a name and a category. I don't know. But what really, I really believe with my whole heart, what is happening there is they didn't test the pumps. They didn't use the pumps in the Mississippi early enough to drain the Mississippi. So how did they become a triple threat? If they built brand new pumps after Katrina, post Katrina, and things continued to flood, but they didn't pump. Why? Why? We have to ask ourselves why. So I went and did a little snooping around, and there's been a lot of litigation about the Mississippi River and who can use what pump where. And there are environmentalists that are saying if you pump the Mississippi, you'll destroy the wetlands and the backwater. And no, don't use the pumps. Okay, so they're in litigation. They've been in litigation, and they have not pumped the Mississippi and drain the debris. So is it going to keep overflowing every time it rains hard somewhere else and dumps into the Mississippi? Yeah. So they need to get through that litigation, and it's held up in a real political mess of money that's needed and people that don't want to give the money, and then also environmentalists that don't want the pump use. So go do your research, look up the Mississippi River, look up why it is so swollen and what's going on with the pumps and why the levees are the way they are. Look up farmers who are screaming, pump the Mississippi, and have been. That's what you want to search. Okay. And what Barry really was all about. Okay, so that's out there. It's just buried a little bit in your Google search. You're not going to find it on page 1 when you search Google. You're going to have to go to page 10 maybe of your Google search. What else? Last week was really hard to take in the news. President Donald Trump was anything but presidential, but that's because he isn't president yet. He really isn't. He doesn't believe in his mind that he's president. See, there's 2 Donald Trumps, and we have to remember this. There might be 3, 4, or 5 Donalds running around. He grew up with the paparazzi, and he grew up with the real news, the fake news, and he hung with these people. This is his people, the political people, the celebrities. Remember, celebrities, Hollywood, politics are like this together. So right now he feels like he's on the outs because people are going, no, Donald, you're not welcome here. No, Donald, we don't like you. We're correcting you. Okay, he's not used to this. He's used to buying whatever he wants. He wants to go to a party, get me in. Wants to be at an event, there's some money, get me in. Donald Trump has always been citizen Donald Trump. He has not transitioned well into being president at all. He has remained citizen the Donald Trump the whole time. If you look back at his Twitter account from years ago, being citizen Donald Trump, this is nothing new. What he tweets all day long, every day, is nothing new. He's just being the Donald. He's not being the president you expect or I expect him to be. He's not. Okay? He's not just going off and being president, giving us all a headache. So those of us that really can't stand listening anymore, he's giving us a headache. What else? The whole Kim Jong-un thing is gonna blow up. It's just gonna blow up. Blow up. Blow up. I'm dreaming a lot about Kim Jong-un. I don't like dreaming about this guy. I really think he kind of looked at Donald Trump like, seriously, you're here? I didn't expect you here, and don't make a fool of me, and don't pat my back, and no, I don't love you, and dumbass. He is going to continue to do what he's going to continue to do. Iran's going to continue to do what they're going to do. You know, he backed out of a deal. They're, shouting out, hey, Iran, if you're listening, don't do that, is not going to help. Not going to help at this point. So I'm keeping my eye on that. Of course, the Mueller report is this week. We've heard a lot about what are they going to ask? What are they going to say? What's going to come out? Nothing really. I hope it's not going to be grandstanding. I really, really hope it's not going to be candidates fielding the questions and grandstanding to run. I hope it's not going to be constituents picking candidates to ask the questions, because now that they actually have Robert Mueller there at Congress, it's like, Robert Mueller goes to Congress. Okay, is he going to stay 8 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute? What? They're doing mock trials. They're doing everything. They cannot all have their 5 minutes. They cannot even have their own 3 minutes. He cannot take their minute to get, oh, the spotlight's on me, I'm in the Mueller. No, no. They have to get together and figure out, what do we want to ask this guy? Okay, and then if he says that, who wants to follow up with that? So that they're not all asking the same thing and they don't want to interrogate him. They don't want to badger him because he'll just shut down and say, it's in the report. Read the report. I wrote the report. It's in the report. They want him to say the words because most of the American public did not actually read the Mueller report. I did. A lot of people did. It's been made into Broadway plays, comedies, entertainment. It's on Audible. It was a free download. It still is a free download. If you go to CNET, it's still there. You can still download it. You don't have to buy the book. You can still read the report. It's out there on CNET. It's out there on, I think, Box Something Net. It's free. You can go download it and just read it. It's not hard to get through. I got through it in one day, the first day it came out. There is obstruction of justice in there. There is bribery all over the place. Bribery, bribery, bribery. Hush, hush, hush. Shh. A lot of this in the report. What's this I'm doing? You see Hollywood do this. You see music entertainers do this. You see nothing, you say nothing. Here, I'll elevate you, I'll take care of you. Oh, you need your house taken care of, your kids go to college, don't worry, resign. Resign, just resign. I got you back for the rest of your life. Just go away, go away. Didn't see that, didn't hear that. Look away, look away. Shh. Okay, so Donald, the president, is still being Donald, the citizen, the Donald, bribing like mad. This is the only way he knows to live. Bribery is offering a favor or money, to look the other way, to not talk, to sign a little thing like a non-disclosure. Oh yeah, it's a form of bribery. Did you know that? Probably one of the worst contracts people can enter into, and a lot of high-profile celebrities, even my beloved Prince, was famous for. Is, you're gonna hang with us? You're gonna be in the band? You're gonna be in one of my homes? Here, sign this non-disclosure. You're gonna see things going on with me and everyone else, and you're shh, shh, shh. I know a lot of people like to talk about the Illuminati killed Prince. The Illuminati, he was the sacrifice. Prince knew about this. Okay, he was very actively involved in this. Prince knew about contracts. Prince was all about the business. So y'all, Purple family, need to get over that. He may have been murdered, but he knew about where's the money going, who owns the masters, or the masters own you. Da, da, da. Who's the record company? What's the deal? How many years? Believe me, he knew this stuff. He called himself the Black Donald Trump. Yes, he did. He wrote a song about it too, because he wrote a song about everything. I love the man. Okay. But there's a lot of people that are out there, crying for justice for Prince, but you gotta understand he ran with a crowd that was shh. He went back to the negotiating tables with a bunch of shh, 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 shh. You do this, shh, we do that. There. He knew what he was sitting down to, folks. He knew he was sitting back down with Warner Brothers after writing Slave on his face for how many years? After talking about them for how many years? Yeah. And he was all about contracts. Out of one side of his mouth, he said, no, don't sign no contract, be careful. But he had tons of contracts. Okay? He had lawyers always around him and tons of contracts that other people sign. Think about it. Okay. A couple things about the Prince situation that have been in my mind a lot, going through my heart a lot whenever I pray. From day one. Larry Graham and Shaka Khan were distancing themselves from Prince, and Prince was distancing himself from them. Okay, we need to ask ourselves why. Why? Okay, now were they the dirty? Were they going to kill him? No. Were they on drugs? Were they? I mean, if you're going to go down that route that he was killed by the Illuminati, for those of you that are going down that route, did Larry Graham know he was going to get killed? Did Shaka Khan know he was going to get killed? What, Stevie Wonder too now? Ooh, I saw somebody write about, Stevie Wonder was at Nipsey's funeral and did a tribute, and he was going to go to a doctor, not Dr. Sebi, but a doctor that Nipsey had set up with Stevie Wonder's wife a doctor appointment with somebody. And he got to know Nipsey well, and Stevie Wonder talked before he did the tribute about we need to stop. We need to check our egos. And then we've lost another person in our family. And he was talking to a lot of high profile people. And Stevie Wonder said, and I'll tell you, Stevie Wonder said, we need to stop all the ego, stop, and so we need more people to stand up. And then it was like he came to his senses and said, and stop all the, and you go watch the video. Go watch the video where Stevie Wonder talks before he does his tribute to Nipsey, and he says, "Oh, we've lost another. Oh boy, we've lost another family member. This can't go on. We need to stop and check we need to not care about our ego. And he started to say, we need some more people that will stand up and say, no, and not worry about our ego. Okay? And suddenly he flipped it to, no more guns. What the hell had to do with ego and guns? He was starting to say, we need people that are going to stand up and say, I'm not going to be in this club. I'm not going to play this game. I will talk about what goes on. I don't care about my ego and being famous. I don't care about all that. That's what Stevie Wonder was beginning to say, but he flipped it to guns. No more guns, no more guns, no more guns, 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 guns. Okay? Do we have to get less guns? Yes. And pray for Stevie Wonder. He's doing dialysis now and waiting for a kidney transplant in September. Pray for him. Beautiful soul that he is. Look, it's a hard life to be in that life that long. And yes, there's an Illuminati. Yes, there's an elite. But it's not every single person that dies in Hollywood or every favorite musician you have was not killed by the Illuminati. Okay, some of them did die from their lifestyles. Some of them had really crappy lifestyles, and it took them away. It took them too soon, and that's the truth. That's just the truth. You can't buy your way out of taking too many drugs. So some people did overuse. They wore their body down. Some people, when it comes to Prince, I know that he was murdered. When it comes to Prince, I know that he was murdered. There are certain people I know, and I named them in my introduction video. I know they were murdered, but other people, they had stuff in there. They had stuff they used in excess. It was lifestyle. For some, it was a wish that came true. For others, it was what they said out of their mouth too much. And for others, it was tragic accidents. It really was. And for some of the people that died of strangulation, it was not what they intended. So I'm going to keep harping on that news. I'm looking at all the stuff that's going on in people that I've been worried about lately that have been coming to me in dreams, because I do mix the spiritual with what's going on here, and I look at it through spiritual eyes. First, I look in the Bible and I ask God always, this kingdom government is over with. But that's because God's kingdom and government has to come to this earth. We were never intended to live under a two-party or even a five-party system. I hear people all the time saying, the two-party system is over. Yeah, the two-party system is over, but do we want to go back to a five or six-party system like our parents and grandparents had? Because there was a time we had 5, 6 parties. Okay, so yeah, 2 parties sucks, but 5 parties would be worse too. So there's going to be just like what's going on in Puerto Rico right now, where the people have taken to the street to overturn the governor and get him out of there. People are going to rise up and not want Donald Trump in the office. He's going to get the 4 more years, but people are going to rise up, rise up. That he's going he has stirred a hornet's nest that was silently just minding its own business. He has exposed what's out there. Unfortunately, he's going to get 4 more because there's more people that are bigoted, racist, and nasty white hat, white sheet wearing people out there. There's more people that really do feel like, well, hell, I can't get my job to pay for this, this, and that. Why are you letting anybody else over here to take a job? I'm paying a fortune for health care, but you're going to go give it free to everyone else? There are more of them than us. As there are them and an us now? Yeah, unfortunately there is. Yeah, there shouldn't be, but there is. We can try to heal the great divide of the soul of the country all we want. Joe Biden, Marianne Williamson, who I love, but the soul of the country wants answers. And their answer is money, 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 Donald Trump. That is their answer. Now, I don't like a darn thing about Donald Trump in the White House. I liked him as Citizen Trump. As the Donald, go be the Donald. Go be whatever you want to be. Cool. And I followed his career, and I read The Art of the Deal. I watched all the videos. I remember watching him in black and white TV. I remember thinking, wow, feeling sorry for him. He looks so much like Barron, his son, and thinking, this poor man. And when he was going through his divorce, thinking, oh, Ivana, stop going on the talk show junket. Just don't. I don't want to know that about your marriage. But I read her book. Yes, I did. And when he married Marla and they did the interviews and everything, I thought, oh, Donald, you married the affair. You married the woman you had the affair with. Okay, you love her, but do you love her? Because she really loves you, and I don't see you really loving her. Sort of like the way Prince Charles looked with Diana when Princess Diana and him got engaged, and she said, of course we're in love. And she was all giddy and shy and everything, and Prince Charles said, for whatever love is. Okay, I really believe that at this point in Donald Trump's life, he really does want to make the country better. He really has redefined what better is in his mind. He's redefined what love is in his mind. He's redefined what is healthy and what isn't in his mind. So we're going to get a lot of Twitter noise with his opinion, and I'm not going to pay mind to it, I hope, too much. I am looking forward to the debate. I will vote as long as I have a right to vote. Look, I know at one time my dad was a Jehovah's Witness, and even Jehovah's Witnesses, you hear about how they don't vote. They do. It's a matter of conscience. It's a matter of conscience. It's between you and God. You're told it doesn't really make sense to vote, but my dad was a political animal. When he became a Jehovah's Witness years ago, when he married my stepmom, I went to the Kingdom Hall, I went to the memorial services, I read the Watchtower, the Awake, the New World translations, and you got people out there that are like, well, some people don't vote, they just don't believe in it, they're Jehovah's Witnesses, they never vote. I always thought it was pretty funny when people were like, "I'm a Jehovah's Witness, I don't vote," but they still had opinion, man. They still were they still wanted to tell you how to run the country, but they didn't want to vote. They want to be part of the process, but they wanted to keep up with their opinion. Um, it wasn't until later in years my dad explained to me, it's a matter of conscience. I never knew what that meant when I was younger, but there were still people that, because a religion can't tell you you can't vote to be in this religion. What the religion can tell you is, because that's your constitutional right to vote. What they can tell you is, we don't believe in voting. We don't think it should matter because this present system is being run by Satan, a fallen system. It's broken, and a new system is coming, a new government where it's going to be God's government the way he originally designed it. Now, a lot of religions teach that just in our Lord's Prayer. Every major religion teaches there's somewhere else, heaven, some people call it another plane, other sphere. Some people call it Gaia. Some people, there's another place out there where there's a supreme being, whatever you call God. Okay, I don't care if you call God Allah and read the Quran. I don't care if you call God God and read the Torah. You call God Daddy, Father, Mama, Mama and Daddy. I don't care what you call God or what you call Jesus. I call him Yeshua. That is his name. Sometimes I call him Jesus because it's kind of like stuck in my brain. I rarely call him Jesus Christ because he didn't have a first name and a last name, Jesus Christ. He was known as the Nazarene, the son of the carpenter, because they didn't give people last names in biblical times. And it was Aramaic, so it was Yeshua. Okay, so that was his name. And there were many Christs. There were tons of Christs, but they claimed he was the Christ, the one they were waiting for, the Messiah, the Christ. That brought the term Christian, which I don't like to use because it's a derogatory term. It's sort of like calling a Hispanic person a spick, or a black person a nigger, or a person from Arabia a towelhead, or India a towelhead, right? It's a derogatory term. You will never find the term Christian in the Bible, ever, or in any of the Holy Scriptures, or the agnostic, or any scriptures. It was used as a derogatory term. Those Christians that followed the Christ. See, it was a mockery. It was like those. Christ wasn't Jesus' name. So Yeshua. I remind myself all the time that even though God's kingdom is coming to this earth, we have not been good stewards of the earth. Our generation didn't do this all by itself. It's been a long time of man repopulating, mass population, feeding each other, the chase of money, 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 having to have money to make the world go round is what has made the world ugly. It's what's made the infrastructures fall apart. We haven't tended the garden. We've let things go. People have fallen asleep on a job. They haven't taken care of airplane wings and airports and engines and computer software. People haven't continued to maintain the rivers, the pumps, the bridges, the levees. There's a lack of accountability. That's what's really going on. There's a lack. People are like, what's wrong with us? Have we become numb? Have we become... No, there's a lack of accountability. So what's happening now? There's a resurgence of the news is making people accountable. And they're starting with who's in the White House. You're at a higher standard now. You're the president. You're in the White House. This was all going to come down biblically. This was all going to happen. So whether you believe in voting or you don't, this political game or political theater that we see going on is going to continue. And we're going to see a lot of it with the Mueller report. We're going to see it with the Mueller investigation and testimony. We're going to see him repeat what was in the report and clarify. What they need is for him to definitely clarify what he meant, because for the Americans that did read it, a lot of people walked away after reading the full report and said, but then why? They don't know how to interpret it. And I had trouble interpreting it too. I walked away and went, didn't he just say obstruction? Didn't he just say, wait, but that's bribery. Wait, let me look up bribery. Wait, what he just did in the office in that meeting and told her to do, that's bribery. And he's in the office as, so, isn't that a crime? Oh, wait, that's a misdemeanor. Oh, another misdemeanor. Oh, another misdemeanor. He's still doing it. He's doing mass misdemeanors all over the place. He's behaving badly against all these people and encouraging other people to behave badly against these people. That's a misdemeanor. What does Article 2 say? He has all the power. It says that in Section 2. But then in Section 1, but in Section 2 it says he's ruled by the people, the Senate, the Congress, wise council. He's got checks and balances there. Oh, no, you don't have superpowers, Mr. President. No, you don't. Okay. How can you be removed? Treason? What's that? Look it up. Bribery? Ooh, all over the Mueller report. That's the way Donald Trump lives. That's the way citizen Trump has lived his whole life. Oh, you need that? I'll do, like the Godfather. I'll help you with this. I'll do that. Get you a boat. We'll look the other way. I'll talk to them. Just go away. Treason, bribery. Treason, bribery. Misdemeanors, misdemeanor. Go back to your country. Send her back. Lock her up. Misdemeanor. If anything happens to Ilhan Omar, high crime, felony, it's on the president. That's why the president is held to a higher standard. Okay? Because people do emulate, they do listen, they do look at the president like a papa, like a daddy in the office. Unfortunately. Okay? Should not emulate any other human being ever. Only God. Only the character of God, as God created us to be. I'll talk more in another video of my own spiritual journey of having grown up Catholic and then joining the Way International, the Way Ministry, which was run by Dr. Victor Paul Werrell, who really was just, he threw in a whole bunch of Norman Vincent Peale positive living with a few prosperity promises of the Bible, and he made a fortune. And everybody that joined were really recruiters to get other people to pay $100 for Power for Abundant Living and join, and then go into the Way Court and go to his school and join and make money. It was a huge business, but I met the most beautiful people there. I learned the most about God because I studied the Bible the most while I was in that. And then living with my dad and my stepmom and learning the truth with the New World Translations and doing the whole Jehovah Witness thing. And then having neighbors who I never understood their culture. The women were really looked down upon. The men were going to college. The women were at home quickly making everything. It was really sad. I got to know some neighbors who were from Pakistan and some neighbors that were from Saudi Arabia and some neighbors that were from India. And I wanted to understand their culture. And I went to the mosque and I learned the Quran and I learned what they learned. And I walked away and I said, kind of riffing off the Christianity thing. who ripped off this, who ripped off that. I get it, but I'm so glad that I've been exposed to so many major cultures and religions, that I actually immersed myself in their culture and learned it. I didn't just learn about it in a book. I went with the people, dressed like them, lived like them, adapted to their beliefs to try to figure out what is this? I wasn't simple-minded or weak to do that, and I exposed my children to it, and I'm glad I did. I hope to God they understand there are many forms of worship. If you saw a mama get knocked over by the Holy Spirit and lay on the floor and get healed, I'm glad my kids saw that, because there's a whole lot of fake that goes on. There's a whole lot of real, there's a whole lot of fake. There's a whole lot of emotionalism out there. There's a whole lot of sensationalism. There's a whole lot of mass media um, um, hypnotism. I'm going to say hypnotism, but it's subliminal. It's how many times you say it, how often you say it. It's um, how factual you make it sound. It's how then you start hanging around people that believe that. It's a mindset, okay? And what you believe from the news is a mindset too, what you and I believe. So the real news is getting like off the shelf because they keep giving us a study diet of, but we want you to believe this, but we only want you to look here, but we don't want you to look over here. We don't want you to keep snooping here because we were a little bit wrong over here. We want you to keep going here. So this channel is going to keep going forward, but I have to keep going a little backwards, like a car stuck in the mud, because we are like stuck in the mud with the media. They're all firsties, so they can't really spend too long investigating a story because they got to be firsties. They got to be first there. Breaking news, breaking news. So, yeah. Barry is all about the Mississippi River and the pumps and the litigation that's going on with farmers and the wetlands, and why that Mississippi River was not pumped during all those heavy rains. Okay. California is a lot of it. Yeah, a lot of the fires were P&G, for sure. A lot of it is what they used to put out the fires was actually more flammable, and the pesticides. Look up pesticides, go look up pesticides. You'll see they used pesticides, they used agents that were chemicals to make the ground not turn so dry that it actually became more flammable when they got water, which just go look it up. The earthquakes in California, they've been testing sites. They want to drill right through California. They want to break California apart and open it right on up. Okay, it's been stuck in litigation. Donald Trump wants to. He's not the first. President Obama wanted to. Bush wanted to. Everybody wants to frack all the way through the center of California. It is hung up, but they have been moving forward since April and May, and they have been testing sites. And what do they do to test a site to frack? They frack. What does fracking do? It causes earthquakes. Okay, go look up your 100 million little earthquakes in California, and why the big one, and after that a bigger one, and aftershocks that are bigger. Look it up. Go look it up. Oh, here's another one. Cannabis, the wonder herb. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love it and love it or hate it. I'm one of those people that get very sick from it, from the smell of it. I used to smoke when I was younger, when I was like 14 to 19. If somebody had it, I smoked it, sure. Um, and then I had a bad reaction to it one time, and I was like, nah, I don't need it. But I still could be around the smell. I mean, I wasn't like a dweeb about it. I still could be out at a concert or, whatever. And then I got a real sensitivity to it. Like just the smell made me get a headache and my throat get all swollen and dizzy and puke. And there are there are people out there that think that cannabis is the wonder drug for everything. It's like the new superfood. And it's got wonderful properties, but we can't hang our hat on one thing ever. But God, but God. When people are out there saying, go eat pomegranates, it cures everything. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Did I do the middle finger? I don't know. Go have turmeric, everything, turmeric in milk, turmeric in this, turmeric in that, cinnamon in this, hot pepper in that, cinnamon in this. Ooh, garlic is good for you. Garlic here, garlic there, garlic everywhere. Tart cherries. Tart cherries are wonderful. Get your tart cherries. Ooh, the goji berry, the hemp seed, the stop. Everything in moderation. There is no wonder it drug. There isn't. Majority of the vitamins out there don't do anything. They're just fillers and fancy looking capsules with really good ads. Okay? Yes, our food is stripped down of most of its nutrients, but taking a boatload of supplements is not the answer. That's all out there in the news and every diet out there. Ooh, it's the new wonder diet. Everybody's like, oh my God, paleo is it. Keto is it. The skinny exchange is it. Weight Watchers is it. NutriBlast is it. Nutrisystem is it. I mean, everybody, it sells, doesn't it? There is no it. Just like there was no food pyramid that was perfect for everybody. It was horrible for a lot of people. There is no perfect plate of food for everyone. There is no perfect time of the day to eat. Everyone has to find what works for them. Okay, so I kind of approach life that way now. I'm a very distrustful person of wonder anything, wonder drug, anything that's being sold. I kind of back away from it and go, okay. So, why would I back away from Donald Trump? Well, he's selling an idea. He's really saying to Americans, let's make America great again, which is nothing new because Ronald Reagan said it. In fact, he's saying a lot of the same things Ronald Reagan said, only saying a little bit of it wrong. But he's saying he needs to check his facts. But he's basically saying, look, the same thing he's been saying forever. It's not fair. They get more. We're getting screwed. China's taking everything. I want to see things be better again, better. We can do better. We can do better. He, and Joe Biden's trying to save the soul. Let's save the soul of America. We need the soul back. The soul was gone in the Obama days too. Okay, it was very bleak during the Obama days, and really, what I really pray Joe Biden, if he's going to run, will remember is look back at it, not so fondly, those 8 years, but realistically, what blew up in their face over and over again, because there were bleak times. There were very hard times. It was not easy to turn on the news and every day and see people being dragged out in orange suits and massively killed by ISIS. Where did that come from? Where did it go? Do you ever wonder? Where did ISIS come from? And where did ISIS go? Where did it go? Remember all the men lined up in orange suits killed? Why was that happening? I mean, Joe Biden needs to ask himself, why was that happening? Why were more black people being killed and Black Lives Matters came up during the Obama administration? Why was that happening, Joe? Why? So a lot of this started not on the Obama watch, but on the Bush watch, on everything before that. They're all just taking the mess from, oh my God, the mess from there and moving it forward and saying, we got to do better. Or we can make it great again, or whatever. So I'm looking forward to the debates, but hardly looking. I'm going to be looking like this. And the testimony, but I already read the Mueller report. Donald Trump is who Donald Trump is, president or not. He's still citizen Donald Trump. He bribes. He exaggerates. He buys people at bribes. He yeah, he's citizen playboy Donald Trump. He'll say what he wants. So I've been watching the news and I put it on pause. I watched a few Hallmark Christmas movies. I got a lot to do this week. I'll catch a little bit of the Mueller report here. I'm sure I'll catch it on rerun to nauseum, as you will do. What I'm interested in looking at is what really happened with E. Jean Carroll. What's going on there? What really happened with Barry in the Mississippi? What's really going on with those 4 new detainment centers that have been built since the surplus money was given from the Democrats? Was that the agenda in the first place, to build more detainment centers? What's really going on with Russia? And that's and be careful. Look out for China, and Kim Jong-un. And I've said all along, Iran is not too pleased. Now, what I've been dreaming about is the Pope and Stevie Wonder. So I dream in flight and in symbolism, so I can't really articulate my dreams too well, other than to say I'm seeing a lot of pink in my dream, with the Pope blessing Stevie Wonder, and then a funeral with a lot of pink. I don't know yet what that's all about. But I gather it's a feminine, somebody of power, feminine. Something big's going to happen. And pray for Stevie. Doesn't mean when you dream of funerals, whatever, it doesn't mean someone's going to die. Pray for, he's getting a new kidney, new life. So pray for Stevie Wonder. I don't know what's going on with the Pope. Something freaky with Pope. And something very pink. It could be a women's movement. Could be a lot's going to come out with the Jeffrey Epstein situation forward in the sex trafficking. There's going to be a lot of names. There's going to be high-powered woman names on Jeffrey Epstein's list. You might find out Hillary Clinton's been on the Lolita Express. Might find out that a lot of first ladies have been on the island and the Lolita Express, and they've all been really close. So that's what's going on spiritually, in the news, and otherwise. And now I don't have to have Agita. I can just go be about my day and go do my appointments and do what I got to do. Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. And post heat wave, I hope you're enjoying the rain. Take care. Bye. It's a good day for baking.